There is a version of you that has been quietly trained to say yes, not because you were weak, but because somewhere along the way you were taught that giving makes you good, that being available makes you loyal, that tolerating things quietly makes you mature. But what if that belief has been costing you everything? Stoic philosophy, one of the most battle-tested frameworks for living with clarity and strength, warns us of something most people never face. The things you give away without thinking are exactly the things that define how people treat you. Marcus Aurelius wrote that if you are not careful, other people's priorities will silently replace your own, not through force, through polite requests, emotional pressure, and subtle guilt. Today, we are looking at 5 things you must never give people, even when they ask politely, even when refusing feels wrong. Because boundaries are not walls, they are the foundation of a life lived with dignity. Let's begin. 1. Never give them your time on demand. Time is not just hours on a clock, it is your life in its most irreversible form, and yet it is the first thing people feel quietly entitled to ask for. Not loudly, just casually. Can you hop on a quick call? It'll only take a second. I just need 5 minutes. These requests rarely sound dangerous. That is exactly why they work. Every casual request for your time is also a test, whether conscious or not, of how available you are. People begin with small interruptions. They assume access, and over time, your schedule stops being yours. You become reactive instead of deliberate. Marcus Aurelius was clear. Whoever controls your time eventually controls your focus, your energy, and the direction of your life. When you give your time on demand, you teach people that your days are flexible, but theirs are fixed. This is how quiet resentment is born. You feel drained, distracted, constantly behind, yet you cannot explain why. On the surface, you're simply helping. Underneath, you are slowly abandoning your own life. A Stoic does not confuse kindness with availability. Before responding to any request, pause. Ask one honest question. Is this aligned with how I have chosen to live today? If the answer is no, a brief, calm response is enough. That doesn't work for me right now. I'll get back to you when I can. People who respect you will adjust. People who have been benefiting from your lack of limits will resist. That resistance is not a sign you did something wrong, it is information. Your time is not a favor you owe the world. Give it deliberately, or others will spend it for you. 2. Never give them your emotional labor for free. Not all exhaustion comes from physical work. Some of the deepest fatigue comes from carrying emotions that were never yours to hold. Emotional labor arrives softly, disguised as closeness. You're the only person I can really talk to. I don't know what I'd do without you. At first, it feels like trust, but pay attention to the pattern over time. They talk, you listen. They release, you absorb. When it's your turn to speak, the space is already gone. Their problems never seem to evolve. They feel lighter after your conversations, you feel heavier. This is not connection, it is extraction. Stoicism draws a clear line here. You're responsible for your own inner state. You are not responsible for managing the emotional chaos of others. That is not indifference, it is discernment. The Stoics believed that what repeatedly enters the mind shapes the character. If you consistently allow other people's unresolved anxiety and confusion to flood your inner world, you do not simply feel tired, you lose your own clarity. Many strong people get trapped here. They mistake emotional endurance for virtue. But unbounded emotional availability often comes from one thing: a fear of being seen as cold. You are allowed to listen without absorbing. You are allowed to care without carrying. I'm not in the right space for this right now. If someone pulls away when you stop carrying their weight, that tells you everything. They were not standing beside you, they were leaning on you. Compassion without structure leads to burnout. You are not responsible for regulating emotions that others refuse to manage themselves. Compassion that costs you your peace is not virtue, it is self-betrayal.
3. Never give them access to your decisions. There is a quiet difference between someone asking out of genuine concern and someone asking because influence feels like power. If you are not paying attention, you will miss it. Some people do not want to help you decide. They want to be inside the decision. It begins softly. Are you sure that's the right move? I'm just a little worried about you. On the surface, harmless, but the questions do not stop. They follow every significant choice: your career, your relationships, your pace of life. Slowly, your decisions become group discussions, and without realizing it, you begin seeking permission instead of clarity. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily no one else could think, choose, or act on his behalf. This was not arrogance, it was accountability. Notice the pattern: people who question you more when you grow, who worry more when you change. That is not guidance, that is friction with your independence. The more you explain your decisions, the more you invite debate. The more you invite debate, the more you shift authority away from yourself. Eventually, you are no longer deciding, you are defending. A Stoic does not put his life choices on trial. The response is simple and calm. I've thought it through. This works for me. I appreciate the concern. I've got it from here. Then you move forward without waiting for approval. Your life is not a committee decision. It is a personal responsibility. Advice becomes control when it is not invited. Autonomy becomes strength when it is protected. 4. Never give them your silence in the face of disrespect. Silence can be power, but silence can also be permission. Many people misread Stoicism here. They hear that Stoics value calm and composure, and they translate that into enduring everything quietly. They believe staying silent makes them mature, unbothered above it all. Sometimes it does, but there is a silence born entirely from fear. Fear of conflict, fear of being disliked, and when silence comes from fear, it does not preserve dignity, it erodes it. Disrespect rarely announces itself loudly. It shows up as a joke that goes slightly too far, a comment that subtly diminishes you, sarcasm disguised as humor, and because it is subtle, you hesitate. You tell yourself it is not worth it. You let it go. That hesitation is the opening. Marcus Aurelius never advocated allowing your character to be chipped away for the sake of keeping peace in a room. When you stay silent in the face of repeated disrespect, you are not keeping the peace. You are teaching people where your line is and that it can be crossed. The Stoic response is not explosive, it is measured and brief. That comment wasn't necessary. I don't appreciate being spoken to that way. Let's keep this respectful. No lecture, no emotional charge, just clarity. Epictetus taught that we cannot control how others act, but we can control what we choose to tolerate. When tolerance becomes habitual in the face of disrespect, it becomes self-neglect. Peace built on self-erasure is not peace, it is avoidance. You are allowed to be calm and firm at the same time. Silence should never cost you your dignity.
5. Never give them unlimited second chances. Forgiveness is strength, but unlimited forgiveness, offered again and again for the same behavior, is not strength. It is costly. Stoicism draws a clear line. To forgive is human. To keep exposing yourself to the same harm, hoping this time will be different, is not nobility. It is negligence toward yourself. Some people do not change because they are forgiven. They repeat because they are allowed. It usually sounds sincere at first. I didn't mean it. That was the last time, I promise. And because you are fair, because you believe in people, you give another chance, then another. Each time certain this will be the turning point. But the turning point never comes, only the cycle does. Stoicism teaches this clearly. Character is revealed through patterns, not promises. Marcus Aurelius cautioned against expecting people to act against their demonstrated nature, not out of cynicism, but out of clarity. The critical question, has the behavior actually changed, or has the apology simply become more polished? Look at actions, not words. Does the pattern reset itself? Harm, apology, relief, repeat. That cycle only continues if you keep participating in it. Forgiveness does not require continued access. You can release resentment without reopening the door. You can wish someone well from a distance. The Stoic response to repeated harm is not anger. It is quiet, calm withdrawal. No announcements, no long explanation, just distance, chosen deliberately without guilt. Because distance is not punishment, it is protection. You are not obligated to remain in situations that repeatedly violate your values. Forgive once, genuinely, observe carefully, and if the pattern continues, choose distance, without drama, without apology. The most self-respecting response is sometimes the quietest one. 5 things you must never give people, even when they ask politely. Not your time on demand, not your emotional labor for free, not access to your decisions, not your silence in the face of disrespect, and not unlimited second chances. These are not rules to make you cold, they are principles to make you clear. Stoicism was never about isolating yourself from the world, it was about refusing to abandon yourself in order to be accepted by it. When you protect these 5 things, you stop living reactively. You stop negotiating your worth in quiet moments of resentment, and you begin to move with the kind of calm, deliberate strength that no external pressure can take from you. Now, practice. Choose just one principle and apply it this week. Small actions done consistently change how people treat you. More importantly, they change how you treat yourself. Until next time, walk your path calmly, firmly, and without apology.